Welcome back, everybody, to the Universal franchise. We are on to week 4 today. The season is unfolding. We have our first initial storylines, and it's been fun to see this season get underway. To start today's episode, we have an NFC South matchup with the Panthers and the Falcons, two teams that have started 1-2, and nobody wants to begin 1-3. We watched the Falcons play a terrible game against the Buccaneers last episode, and the Panthers haven't won a game since losing Christian McCaffrey back in week 1. Both teams trying to get things on the right track as we dive into the first quarter with Taquan Layton trying to hit a big pass downfield, and instead he is intercepted. What a catch here by Lorne Moore, the veteran cornerback. Carolina taking over, and Matthias Carter has filled in for Christian McCaffrey, doing a pretty good job, but not an elite running back. Lameka Warrick has to pick up the slack and throws a beautiful pass here to the sideline, connecting with DJ Moore. Carolina set up inside the 5, and that's when they toss it out to Matthias Carter, who breaks a tackle and gets into the end zone. Carolina on the board first. Atlanta began this game slowly, and I've been a bit worried about this team overall, but late in the first quarter, it's Taquan Layton finding Cornelius Davis. Falcons get out to midfield, more play action, and Taquan Layton again to Davis, taking Atlanta into scoring range. On 3rd and 11, making the catch and getting to the end zone is Chris Clemens, their number 5 receiver, scoring the first touchdown of his career to tie the game. One thing that's helped Atlanta become one of the top teams in the NFC is their front 4 pass rush. Myles Garrett has been great, and they're getting some really good play from John Waters as well. Let's go later in the second quarter. Here's Taquan Layton off the play action. He wants to go deep, and it's intercepted, but a penalty comes in for a pass interference. So you think Falcons at the 1, right? Not so fast. I don't know how exactly, but the penalty got messed up. Carolina gets the ball at the 1, and Lameka Warrick goes play action and gets taken down for a safety. We have a safety every episode this season. How does it possibly keep continuing? So after that bug, Atlanta back to work, up 9-7, and they're going to take it here inside the 30. Taquan Layton getting in rhythm, and the Falcons take it inside the red zone. A 15 of 19 starts. That's why Taquan Layton's the MVP, but he loses the football on 3rd and 10, and the Panthers come away with a massive takeaway to keep this a 2-score game, or a 2-point game rather. Carolina trying to make something happen before the half at their own 21, and Warrick gets taken down once again for the sack. Atlanta's defense made it really difficult on Warrick in the pockets. That gives the Falcons a chance before halftime, and Taquan Layton throws a beautiful pass down the right sideline with the defender in his face. That's Antoine Austin on the catch, and the drive would be capped off by a Cornelius Davis touchdown, extending the Atlanta lead. Let's go all the way into the fourth quarter. Carolina struggling to move the football, and down goes Warrick once again. Waters with 3 sacks on the day. The offensive line struggled all game for the Panthers as Demps gets his 2nd sack of the ball game. Carolina with 6 minutes to go have to go for it on 4th down, and again it's Warrick being sacked. Demps gets 3. And the Falcons would add a field goal, making this a 12-point game. Still some time left. Warrick and the offense really have to step up. Warrick completes on the outside to William Sapp. They get into Falcons territory, and then Warrick is intercepted by Matt Bankston, and the Falcons take over. This would ultimately lead to a field goal, which would still keep it a 2-score game. So there's still a chance for Carolina, but not against this front 4. Myles Garrett gets his first sack of the ball game. 4th and 16 for the Panthers. All you can do at this point is just throw it as far as you can, and Warrick's got some impressive arm strength, and their biggest play to this point ends up being a pass interference call. Again going to fourth down. Warwick in the back of the end zone finds DJ Moore for 6. That makes it a one-possession game, but the Panthers only have 2 timeouts, so they have to get the onside kick. A member of the Falcons touches it, and the Panthers get the recovery! I think that's the only onside recovery I've seen, period, in this game. The Panthers aren't out of it. The Falcons whiffed on the onside kick. I feel like I've seen this before. And Warwick's gonna go downfield once again. This time it is intercepted at the sideline, and the Falcons get the victory. They almost blew this game, but John Bruton, 6th year out of Minnesota, he makes the biggest play perhaps of his career, getting the Falcons their 2nd win on the season. And with the Panthers dropping to 1-3 and still missing Christian McCaffrey, is there hope for them to turn this season around? A lot is going to have to change, and that starts up front. Their offensive line had a terrible game. The Falcons have a good pass rush, but this was way too much. Now we're going to head down to Jacksonville, and we have a matchup between 2 3-0 teams in the AFC. Denver sticking with the uniform combination from last episode, and the big story going into this one. Denver now is missing Vashawn Wright, which makes LJ Molina the team's #1 receiver. Rookie Derek Jackson, he becomes the #2. Denver has looked great this year on both sides of the football, but missing your top receiver can have a pretty devastating effect for an offense. The Jaguars also had a key injury with no Jalen Ramsey, which made the matchup a little bit better, but it's still a good Jaguars secondary. They, of course, shut down Miami last episode. Nate Sheffield's played well to start the season, but this is going to be a different challenge. Early on, the Jaguars playing strong defense. They get a quick 3-and-out. Denver unable to do anything on their opening drive. And for the Jaguars, their new quarterback, Carson Wentz, he's also played pretty well. 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Jaguars are 3-0. I don't think anybody expected that. In the second quarter, Carson Wentz in trouble, and eventually he's sacked by Eric Palmer. Defenses were in control to start this game. 6.5 to play in the second quarter. Denver trying to find a way to move the football, and of course, NFL leading rusher Deion Price is who you want to start with, and they had to lean on this running game a bit more than usual. Donovan Jennings gets the first down, and a couple plays later on 3rd down, Sheffield to the end zone, connecting with tight end Levi Summers. 37-yard touchdown. Everybody's got to step up a little bit when you're missing one of your key players, and Summers has been great for this team for a long time. 10-0 Denver, late first half. Denver brings some pressure, and Carson Wentz throws a laser. Really good adjustment here on the catch by Charles Sanders. One thing that was exciting about this matchup is how many Kalispell players are on this Jaguars team. Jim Jackson is still the starting running back, and he did some really good things early on, but suffered this injury here in the second quarter, and that would end his day, unfortunately. 2:30 on the clock. Here's a throw to the former Bronco. That's Noah Fant. Jaguars trying to get their first points of the ball game, and the field goal comes up well short. Denver's defense dominant as always, and the offense doing just enough. Sheffield again to Levi Summers. They get into Jaguars territory. 27 seconds on the clock. Again, just trying to find ways to get Summers open. Denver adds 3 before the half. And in the third quarter, Jaguars just trying to get on the scoreboard, and Wentz taken down. Jazir Deacon eventually gets there for the sack. 3rd and 17, looks like Denver's getting another stop, but a penalty is going to extend this drive. What tends to happen in sports when you give teams free opportunities? Well, the Jaguars eventually find their big play. It's a Trey Lofton touchdown to put them on the board. First career touchdown for him. 13-7 Denver in the third quarter. And once they had that first big connection, all it seemed Sheffield wanted to do was throw the football to Levi Summers. He's the veteran of this receiving core now, and without Rashawn Wright, I like the idea of focusing primarily on him. But there's definitely some potential with these receivers as well, and LJ Molina has been stepping up into greater roles his entire young career. Denver adds a field goal to go up 16-7. Now can the Jaguars get down the field without the help of a penalty? Carl Joyce makes a nice reception. On 1st and 10, Carson Wentz, a nice throw on the outside, again hauled in by Joyce. Third quarter winding down, Jaguars in scoring range, and they get a nice screen pass here to the outside. That's the new starting running back, Bruce Chapman. And then they go with the bubble screen, and this is ruled a backwards pass and a turnover for the Jaguars. Watching this play back, it's not clear to me that it's a backwards pass, but that was the ruling. And Denver gets the football. The Jaguars' momentum is taken, and Deion Price picks up 13 yards, getting out to the 29-yard line. Denver just trying to run some clock down, but Ja'Cory Blackwell comes through on the blitz. That helps the Jaguars eventually get the football back. At the Denver 40, trying to protect the football this time, Carson Wentz across the middle, and that takes the Jaguars inside the 20. Caught by Lewis Allen. On third down, though, they'd eventually be stopped, and this would force them to kick a field goal, which made it a one-score game. 4.5 minutes to go. Jaguars want the football back, and Sheffield throws a strikeout to Derek Jackson. He gets the first down. And then it's a nice run for Deion Price, taking it inside the Jaguars 40. All they need here is a field goal to go up by 2 scores again. Good throw and catch there to LJ Molina. Denver just driving down the field. And it's Deion Price taking them inside the 10, a 21-yard run. And looking to cap this one off, a quick touchdown pass from Sheffield to Derek Jackson. He scores the first of his rookie season. And the Denver Broncos remain undefeated. They move to 4-0. They look as good as ever, even when they're missing a player like Rashawn Wright. The defense is still playing outstanding, and the offense has plenty of talent. Carson Wentz ends up with 296 yards passing, but I think that fumble in the second half was kind of the one play they couldn't afford to have happen. And for Denver, Levi Summers' big game was a lot of fun to see. I wasn't sure how they'd play without Rashawn Wright, but they found a way. That will take us into our game of the week in Week 4, the undefeated LA Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, in this series, we focus primarily on the AFC West, and we always wanted it to eventually be super competitive. I think the series kind of disappointed in that regard, not having those strong rivalries in division, but this year perhaps could be different. I've been waiting for one of these teams to really step up over the years, and I like both. I think that the Chargers have done a better job at building up their team. Of course, they drafted Oliver Raymond a while ago in the series, and he's been very solid, but he's almost 30 years old and really doesn't have playoff experience. You want to see if he can eventually get this team to the playoffs and if they can do some damage there. He's got the regular season numbers. He's always been a good quarterback. But I think this team really suffered when they lost Keenan Allen, they lost Jamie Sherman, and didn't do the best job of replacing those playmakers. Mike Williams was always our greatest nemesis in series. He's put up big games against the Broncos all the time. Is he still capable of those kind of games? Perhaps from time to time. They added Emmanuel Silvers, so you get one of the best route runners in the league. He played for Minnesota for a while. He's not a dynamic playmaker, but they did add Amari Cooper, and we know that he still has that big play potential. He did well for Denver in this series for the short time he was there. At running back, they have Dom Hampton, 23 years old. Here's their best young playmaker on offense in just his second season. He's got the best big play upside, I think, out of this whole offense. The Chargers have done a lot of good things with their defense in this series as well. They've had Joey Bosa the entire time. They made Montrell Griffin a #1 pick, and he's been okay to start his career, a bit underwhelming. Mario Townsend from Kalispell, he plays linebacker. Chris Wynn in the middle is a solid inside linebacker, and Raekwon Bryant as well. In the secondary, Lincoln Bramble, 25 years old. He's a solid corner. Not sure if he's a #1 caliber. I think what's been one of the most surprising things in the series is the overall lack of success from Kansas City. To me, this team in our franchise compares to like the Angels in the MLB, where for so many years it's just Mike Trout, can't put a good team around him, never go to the playoffs. And that's where the Chiefs are in the series now. They have not added enough talent around Mahomes. And like what we've seen with the Chargers, they haven't done a good job at finding new playmakers to take over for Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins. Rakeem Boone, he's solid, but are these #1 caliber receivers? I feel like both of these teams are really trying to build offenses out of good quarterbacks and complementary players. Either way, these teams are playing good enough football to start the season, and by the end, we could see the Chargers still undefeated, or perhaps the Chiefs can get to 3-1 and make this AFC West really interesting. The action is set to continue. AFC West action. Now, after this game and this episode, I will look to do a little bit of simulating, and maybe we do 2 weeks of simming, do another episode, or alternate. I do want to get through the season a little bit quicker, going a little bit faster through the beginning or the middle of the season, and perhaps we'll look at some quarterback trades for week 5, and perhaps Philadelphia will have a new quarterback for next episode that we can focus on. Let's get into this one, everybody. Oliver Raymond, Patrick Mahomes. I'm hoping we see some fireworks today. Can the playmakers entertain us? Really looking for just a great game of the week here. The Dolphins let us down last time. Let's see what we got in store. It's Chargers and the Chiefs. My pick for this game, I'm taking the Chargers to win it 24-20. But it's Kansas City getting the sack on the first play of the day. The way I look at it, I just think the Chargers' offense overall is better. I also think the defense is better. And they're running the same offense they have all series. So they will try to get vertical at times. And this run will recover the lost yardage from Hampton. But they will take some shots downfield. And I think they can get some big plays here against Kansas City. 3rd and 11 on the opening drive. Raymond's going to fire outside, and that's caught by Mike Williams. A lot of separation on that comeback. On the ground here, it's Dom Hampton with a nice tough run. He'll get across midfield. Play fake and a quick throw. There is a penalty marker. Usually these are ineligible downfield, but in this case, pass interference on Clifton Stewart. On 3rd down and 10. Chargers have been backed up to their 43. Raymond dumps it off, and that is not going to get a first down. Now we'll see Kansas City's offense for the first time. Patrick Mahomes opens with a handoff, and this is going to be a short pickup for Trey Gunter. This is 3rd down and 3 for Kansas City. They keep it on the ground, and that is a first down. Gunter to the 34. It's a play fake here. Mahomes out of the pocket. Floats one, and it's caught at midfield. That catch is made by Reggie Tobias. On 1st and 10, Mahomes rushed, but gets it outside, and this one is caught by Torian Morgan, the tight end. He's been pretty decent in this series. KC on the move now, and they run it to the right side. First down. Patrick Mahomes on 1st down. Plenty of time and wide open. There goes Morgan. Nice start here for the Chiefs offense. Mahomes 4 of 4 passing, a couple good runs. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Again wide open, finding the soft spots underneath. It'll be 3rd down and short once again. 2 deep safeties here for the Chargers. They don't stack the box. It is a play fake. Mahomes fires and has a man who loses the ball, and then it's recovered by a member of the Chiefs. Gunter is stopped at the 3. Derwin James knocked this ball loose at about the 1-yard line. It looked like it might be a huge turnover. Ultimately, Kansas City is set up goal to go. What a play. And that is a very Chargers play to have happened. Although it would make more sense in the 4th quarter. Touchdown, Kansas City. How about that for a start? I am cheering for the Chargers in this one. I've always wanted to see them be a strong team. I always thought they would have been an awesome rival had they been a little bit better. There goes Dom Hampton. One play, that's all it takes. He'll take it 71 yards to the house. That's what we're waiting for. Big play upside. We don't often see the CPU rip off nice runs like this. That's impressive. So we got the long methodical drive and then the one play quick strike. Kansas City takes over and they're going to run it inside for a short pickup. Play fake for Mahomes. Will he take a shot? This one's going long and it's caught! Raheem Boone at the 30. We got some excitement in this one. Boone sets up KC. Patrick Mahomes is now in the zone. On 1st down, more play action. Watch out, Mahomes to the end zone, incomplete. Kansas City primed to take this lead. They're going empty now on 3rd and 6. Mahomes starting strong, dumps it off, and they will not convert. Well, you wanted a good game of the week. It looks like we have one to this point. 1st quarter winding down, and Hampton is stuffed this time, gain of 2. The 2nd quarter begins on 2nd down and 8. Deep drop for Raymond, and across the middle. This one's caught, fighting to the 50. That is Amari Cooper. Oh, wow, I missed the Toronto-New Orleans game this week. I forgot that was in this week as well. I meant to watch that one, but both teams are 1-2. I don't know if it's as interesting now. 10-7 Kansas City, but the Chargers are driving. Quick throw and caught inside the 35. You have 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league going head-to-head here. I expected some excitement, and this game is delivering. It's a handoff, and Hampton is met quickly. Not much there. It's a play action. Pressure's coming, and Raymond never felt it. Sacked by Burgess at the 43. Now I don't think the Chargers are in field goal range. Can they get 7 yards at least? Raymond wants way more than 7. This one draws the penalty in the end zone. Never a bad idea to throw a 50-50 ball to Mike Williams. Can you punch it in, though? That's always a question here in the red zone. They'll run it. Hampton, stopped by Savage. Handoff. Hampton bounces off the first contact, but gets taken down. Will they try to throw it now on third down? They don't stack the line quite as heavily. It will be a throw. Up top, it is caught. Nope, it's incomplete. That pass deflection went to Xavier Bozeman, who was originally with the Raiders in this series. We're all tied at 10 here in the second, and Patrick Mahomes completes to the 32-yard line. It's third down for Kansas City. These offenses have not been stopped much in this game, and they're going to motion out the running back now. Townsend follows him on 3rd and 2. That's going to be a first down. Throwing a quick screen to Boone. He'll get upfield. The Chargers messed that up really badly. Play fake for Mahomes, and that's an open look inside the 20. Another fumble, and the Chargers have recovered this one. It's a big hitting defense. Big takeaway for the Chargers. Taking over at the 11-yard line. Here's Oliver Raymond standing at the 2-yard line, and this will be a first down catch and run. Going to Craig Booth. I forgot he was on this team. They run it. Hampton up the right side this time. He'll get 5 yards, close to 100 now in the first half. Raymond on 3rd and 4, throws it out in front. He will occasionally miss those short throws like he does there. Good half though. It has been a lot of fun. The Chiefs take over. Do they punt it? Okay, good. Chiefs trying to take the lead before half. 10 yards here to Burley. They'll pick up 8 with Patrick Mahomes. Tobias gives them 20. Kansas City trying to take the lead. They're inside the 5, and Kayvon Burley puts them in front. That's going to take us into the second half now. And again, Kansas City has the ball. I've been impressed by both of these offenses, but Chargers pick up the quick stop. No one scores on the first drive of the second half. We'll sim one more with Kansas City. They start at their 1. They'll get away from their own end zone a little bit, but still be forced to punt. Let's get into this second half. The Chargers have only ran 22 plays? Really? I know these games can be a little shorter than sim length, but I wonder if the Chiefs are just controlling clock. They began the game with like a 10 or 12 play drive. Then Chargers score on 1 play. A play action now on 2nd down. Raymond's aggressive. He had that open receiver in the flats. That's not his game though. Didn't work, unfortunately. 3rd down and 2 now. Don't want to waste this opportunity. And Hampton breaks the tackle. Hits the gas again. Re-accelerates to the 31. Back to the air, pressure on the way, open, and getting to the 21. This time, I don't know who that is exactly. That's Brock. Gain of 9. Play fake. Raymond's going to throw it short. Nice call. Hampton will take it to the 11. At the 12, they run this one to the 10, fighting ahead for a couple more. Kerryon Johnson. I feel like he's been with this team for almost the entire series. But now they want to tie the game. Can they put this in the end zone? Raymond set to throw, patiently waiting, steps up and gets drilled. Chris Jones. That'll give the ball back to Kansas City. 17-13, and that's a solid start here for Kerry Jones. He gets out to the 31. I do think Kansas City looks like they have what it takes here to hand the Chargers their first loss. But a nice stop now. Can they get off the field here quickly? 3rd and 3, and Mahomes is going to thread the needle. Caught. Morgan. They run it inside. Nice Powerful run for Trey Gunter out to the 48. Kansas City has done a good job of creating favorable third downs. Only need one. They think they can throw for it, and I don't know. Depends where they mark it. Morgan gave up some ground, and that's no first down. Chargers get it back at the 20. Oliver Raymond hands off to Dom Hampton. He tries to make Savage miss and gets taken down. Play fake and brought down almost immediately. I don't know what's happening there. That brings up a 3rd and 19. Raymond fires downfield and hooks up with Williams. I was about to say the only shot they have is throwing it to Mike Williams. And that's exactly what they do. 28 yards. Play fake, more pressure, but Raymond delivers. Again, it's Williams inside the KC 40. Raymond wants to throw again, but this time the pressure gets to him. Now, this is ruled a fumble. We'll see. It's better for the Chargers if this stays a fumble and is just a loss of 1. And that's how it's going to go into the books. All right, then. Not as bad as it could have been. Raymond on 2nd down off the mark. So a tough 3rd down. Not sure they're in field goal range here. Do you go Mike Williams' way once again? Do you have any other choice? On 3rd and 11, Raymond's got the time, and now it's running out, and he's sacked. Chris Jones, 2nd of the day. 9 minutes to play in this one. The Chiefs take over at the 6-yard line, and they'll run it wide. Trey Gunter is taken down. Dumped off on 2nd down. The Chiefs will get a conversion here out to the 18-yard line. Mahomes fakes on 3rd down. He's got time to go deep. Way downfield. This one is incomplete. That one really traveled. Tried to get Rakeem Boone. Chargers set to get the football back with about 7 minutes to play. Let's see where they start this possession. They may have some blocking, potentially. And that's a nice move. Another one. That's as exciting as it gets for special teams in Madden when the CPU's in control. Chargers at the 40. Not a bad place to begin. Down 4. Raymond to the outside and incomplete. He wanted Williams, and now they're calling it an interception. Are you serious? Raheem Boykin appears to have intercepted the football. We couldn't even see him on screen. Here it is again. It's a comeback for Williams. But this throw, I mean, he's throwing it from outside the far hash. This is traveling so much east and west. And that gives Boykin the time to undercut it. And yes, that is a catch. Both feet are down. Now it's not looking too good for the Chargers. With the Chiefs taking over, they run it to the right. Stuffed. Not much there. Going to need a very good defensive stop here, most likely. Going empty, though. This offense can get aggressive. Against the pressure now. That'll get to the 50-yard line. Gotta get 4 more. Mahomes dumps it off. That should be a first down. Broken tackle. Gunter still not down. Eventually James gets there, but Kansas City's up to the 40. Remember, my prediction was Chargers winning 24-20. They got a lot of work to do to even win the game. Mahomes going deep, and it's caught inside the 10. Rakeem Boone. I remember when he played for Pittsburgh in this series, and I always thought he was a pretty good playmaker. How about 7 for $156 today? And that one really hurts LA. 8 yards out now. A quick throw, and Bosa got there too quick for Mahomes. And that's the 100th career sack for Joey Bosa. 4 minutes to play. A touchdown almost puts it out of reach. Mahomes on 2nd and goal has a completion, taking it to the 6. He's thrown the ball 39 times, 336 yards. They have controlled the clock today. Chargers want the red zone stop to keep this within reach. From the empty look, Mahomes throws it, and they will not get the score. They come up a yard short. Well, time is running out for Oliver Raymond. The undefeated Chargers need a drive now. 2.5 minutes to figure this out. Starting in the shotgun at their own 26. Raymond with time outside. That's off the hands of a defender. 4-man rush. Raymond steps up, gets hit and delivers, and Hampton has the first down catch. With 2 minutes to play, Raymond throws on first down. He is off the mark with his 20th pass attempt. 153 yards on the day. A bunch formation now on 2nd down. They want to set up the screen again, getting it out to Hampton. He jets by Jones, gets the first down, and there's a penalty at the end. Yep, I was right. Hampton is easily this offense's best playmaker. Suddenly the Chargers are in business. Raymond to Williams, inside the 15. Throwing on first down. Raymond in trouble, and he gets brought down this time by Lincoln. That'll take us to around a minute to play. Chargers at the 21. This one's outside the numbers and incomplete. Could not hang on to it. 3rd down and 18. You basically have 2 plays to get a touchdown here. They're going to run it. Hampton getting to the 14. I'm not sure that's even worth it, though. A 7-yard run. You still have to throw this in the end zone. Raymond will! It's a touchdown! Mike Williams! The Chargers somehow pull it off and will tie the game. Well, if you wanted one of these to go down to the wire, here you go. We still have some time, though, in regulation, and that's a first down for Kerry Jones. Kansas City calls a timeout, 30 seconds to go. They still have 2, and they could get into field goal range for a heartbreaking attempt. 1st and 10 at their own 38. Mahomes, plenty of time, and this will get them a little bit, but cost them a timeout to get 4 yards. Going to need a few more. Maybe 2 plays to try and get there, and this is a run. It is a first down, but they're mismanaging the clock here. Can you get a quick pass and call a timeout? 4 seconds left. Caught! Can they get the timeout? They do with 1 second. And Kansas City will have a chance to win the game with kicker Michael Badgley, the former Charger, the Money Badger, trying to kick the Chiefs to a win and end the Chargers' undefeated start. Badgley for the win. 45 yards, left hash. Badgley's kick is away. It is good. And the Kansas City Chiefs win it at expiration. They move to 3-1 on the season, and the Chargers lose in a very Chargers manner. 23-20 is your final. Oliver Raymond is not happy right now. What a finish. I can't believe the Chiefs actually got into scoring range. It was a good game, very entertaining, some good offense there. Mahomes ends up with 368 yards. He throws 2 touchdowns. Raymond a touchdown plus the interception. Chiefs just made a couple more plays. Hampton had a nice touchdown run. That was pretty fun. Rakeem Boone, he was great. Williams over 100. With that, a quarter of the season is now underway, and there is only one undefeated team left, and it's the dominant Denver Broncos. A host of other teams are 3-1 or 2-1, and then you have just 3 teams that are still winless on the season. Here are your Week 4 Players of the Week. Lamar Jackson wins it in back-to-back weeks. This time, a little bit less yardage, but 4 total touchdowns. Kyler Murray is the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Colby Frost, 13 tackles, 2 sacks. He wins defensive in the NFC. And Sears, I'm not as familiar with, but a pick, a sack, 6 tackles for him. In Justin Colbert's return to New Orleans, the Saints had a huge day, winning 41-24. Justin Colbert was intercepted 4 times by his former team. Quan Tippins threw 2 touchdowns. Also, ran 2 in himself. Miami bounced back against a Rams team that is really struggling this year. 35-14 is the final. 4 touchdowns for Jesse Heikkinen with 3 picks coming from Jared Goff. Jarquez Towns is back to add some more firepower to this offense, but I want to see them do this against some better teams. We've talked about Philadelphia's quarterback situation. Josh Allen had a touchdown this week against the Cowboys in the Eagles' win, 232 yards. Elliott's had a nice day on the ground, but it's the Eagles coming away with the victory this time, 28-14. Here are your league leaders a quarter of the way into the season. Lamar Jackson leads the NFL in touchdown passes. For interceptions, it's now Justin Colbert with 8. Deion Price is still the NFL's leading rusher with 382 yards. For receiving, it's Jason Burgess, followed by Chad Robinson, Nick Lindsay, and Marquise Brown. That Ravens passing game is taking things to a new level. Eric Palmer has 6.5 sacks already this season. A few players in the AFC have 2 interceptions. Nobody yet has 3. And the NFC leader in sacks is Brian Goodson of Philadelphia. So that brings us to the end of the Week 4 episode, and like I said, I think it's time to think about doing some simulating and some potential quarterback trades and get through this season a bit quicker now. Let me know what you thought of the episode today. I'm still getting used to making content like this, but I hope you're enjoying it. Please leave a like if you are, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with more of this Universal franchise experience soon. Have a great day, everybody.